Hello, my name is Ionuț and I'm learning how to become a trainer for Mina Vaganti NGO. Today, I'm going to present you an activity that you can use for your trainings. The activity is called roleplay, and it's a great non-formal tool that can be used during your training courses or any other activities that you have during your project. The main outcomes of the activity will be to inform the participants about the subject tackled, to practice forming arguments, to understand the process and difficulties of decision making, to help them discover the fundamental roles as an active citizen and how to become one, and to learn working in teams. The duration of the activity can be between 1 and 5 hours. The materials needed for these activities are the scenario photocopied for all the participants, articles and informational material about the 29 activities subject that will express all the opinions, one cardboard, white paper for making notes, pens, and one marker pen. For the preparation phase, we will keep in mind the following guidelines. Creating the scenario, including the topic, questions to address in the frame of their roles. The instructive scenario is distributed to the group. The involved institutions, groups are introduced according to the initial proposal, as institutions, residents, NGOs, ministry, etc. Selection of the role-playing games frame, for example, a television transmission or a debate, and definition of the discussion rules, the speaker's order, and the arguments. Before starting the activity, it's important to describe and to clarify the following roles. The role play, a short discussion with the group about the objectives of the activity, appointment of the institutions and groups involved. The creation of the scenario. The instructive scenario is distributed to the group. The involved institutions, groups, are introduced according to the initial proposal, as institutions, residents, NGOs, ministry, etc. The selection of the role-playing games frame, for example, television transmission, and definition of the discussion rules, the speaker's order, the arguments, and the rejoinder's duration. Group's composition and roles elaboration. Creation of the groups and definition of the discussions coordinator. The groups formulate their arguments, trying at the same time to think and contradict against the possible arguments of the other groups. The coordinator goes around listening to every discussion group. Implementation of the role play. The participants formulated their arguments, disagreeing or agreeing in all the cases that they try to come up with a viable, realistic proposal in regards to the particular issue. A discussion is made about the role every citizen can play and how decisive they can be in each case. Tips and tricks to ensure a successful implementation of the activity. For the facilitator, at the beginning of such an activity, the facilitator has to take some time to get the group members to participate actively, to have sufficient information materials representing all the opinions. The facilitator should not give his point of view and intervene during the activity. Instead, he should summarize the opinions that were presented and reflect upon the problems that were not mentioned. The trainer must be sure that the participants exit their roles once the activity has finished. Ideas for action. Each team will create a folder file on the issue which will include a description of the above activity. Information that the group has gathered for the study to sustain their case will be kept in their library. They could also send a letter to all concerned bodies to submit their views and suggestions regarding this issue. Variations. According to the thematic that you can choose, the roles and the institutions will change. Don't forget to have at the end of the activity the debriefing and the evaluation. Ask the participants how they felt during the activity. Let anyone free to say what he or she thinks. Start the discussion about the meaning of the role play. How is it to be a different role? Does it stimulate new reflections? Does it help to consider other points of view? Participants should express their opinions, value their experience regarding the issue tackled, and understand the important roles of the individual responsible on the issue. Thank you for listening, and I wish you a successful implementation of the activity.